I believe food is all about pleasure, but luckily there are so many different pleasures to be got from food, and sometimes what I want is to feel full of virtuous vibe and full of vim and vigour, and that's the sort of food I relish cooking too. No taste is sacrificed, it's all delicious. You just feel good about yourself when you eat it. Like Vietnamese shrimp and noodle salad that's sweet, sour and salty in a heavenly combination. And a wonderful avocado, spinach and pumpkin seed salad that's packed with flavour, texture and colour, served with smoked salmon. And for dessert, a creamy, cool syllabub yoghurt over ripe figs sprinkled with pistachio nuts. There's my all-time favourite feel-good fridge standby, red salad with tomato, onion and kidney beans. And not forgetting an antioxidant salad with tropical fruit and berries that'll really get you going. I'm feeling good already. I'm blanching the vegetables for my lovely Vietnamese shrimp and noodle salad. By blanching, I mean just this, pouring boiling water over the bean sprouts and sugar snaps, and then immersing them in iced water so they retain all their crunch and colour. That's it. So now for the dressing. The good thing about this dressing is that it's relatively lean but packed with flavour. Start off with a tablespoon or thereabouts of minced ginger. I don't bother to peel it. I reckon if some of the skin gets in, more roughage. That should do. A clove of garlic, minced as well, or half a fat one. Lovely. And I want some chilli. And I know this is pretty huge, but actually these long red chilies are an awful lot milder than those teeny ones you get. Anyway, I'm going to take most of the seeds out. So I have warmth rather than heat. Chop this finely. I love these strips of lip gloss red. Beautiful. In these go. Some lime juice. Good half a lime. These are lovely and juicy. Always nice to have a bit of impaling work. I want some salt now, in the shape and form of fish sauce, about 2 tablespoons. And if you can't get fish sauce, just go for some light soy and a touch of vinegar. The same amount of water, another 2 tablespoons. Bit of sugar, I know, but only a small amount. Let's see, about a teaspoon. Balances everything. And I said this was a lean dressing, and it is, although I want oil, not much of it, but a teaspoon and a half of groundnut oil, any vegetable oil would do, and a splash of aromatic toasted sesame oil. Let's have a quick stir around. This smells incredible. And I know this sounds odd, but having made the dressing, I'm now going to remove about half. But the reason I'm doing that is because, you know, when you're in one of those moods where you want steamed fish, steamed vegetables, it's nice to inject a bit of flavour and real life to them. And I keep a jar of this in the fridge, and I can zhuzh up everything without any effort. There, I'm set. I've got a cupful of coral curled shrimp here, about 125 grams of little pink prawns, and I'm going to immerse them in that sharp dressing to gain in flavour while I get on with assembling the rest of the noodle salad. Gorgeous plump shrimp. I want a couple of fat scallions. And it really pays to try at least to cut them as finely as possible, just because you don't want some big tangle of onion in your mouth when you eat. At least I don't. Right, let me get rid of these for a moment while I get a huge handful of cilantro. This is wonderful with its heady scent. Chop this up. I love the earthiness of fresh coriander. Now all I have to do is mix everything together. This is a noodle salad, and the noodles I've got are these bean thread, sometimes called cellophane noodles. So easy, you don't even have to cook them. You just pour over boiling water and leave them for a few minutes and then drain them. And then you have these almost opalescent threads. And they're so bouncy. Into this bowl of noodles goes my handful of chopped scallions. And now my juicy, fragrant prawns in all their sharp dressing. My steamed vegetables, just a handful of sugar snaps and of bean sprouts. Some of the coriander, and now everything needs only to be combined. Ah, beauteous. I could live on this, and often do. There, gorgeous. Bit more cilantro, and I am ready to eat. I hate, really hate, the term life enhancing, but this is. The perfect Zen eating moment. Believe it or not, my larder is also a repository of very virtuous foodstuffs. I mean, I've got some fabulous dried fruit. I love particularly these dried mango strips. Look how beautiful they are. I love them, and actually my children do too, so I put them in their lunchbox. Good for them. Oh, and recently I bought these weird and wonderful goji berries. Look at the colour on those. Brilliant, aren't they? Oh, and I've got some nuts. I love nuts, and now that we know they're good for you, I can eat more of them. I think it makes sense to buy nuts in their shell, because there's something very nice about cracking them, and of course you don't eat quite so many if they're not already, out of the shell. But for now, I want these beautiful green pumpkin seeds. The thing about healthy food, although, I hate that term. I don't like the idea that some foodstuffs are good and some are bad, but you know what I mean? The thing about food that we know to be healthy is that it doesn't just do you good to eat it. I feel it makes you feel wonderful when you look at it. I mean, look at the beauty of these green spinach leaves, and those peppers, all that juiciness and shine, and those cherries, luscious, how heavenly are they? And look at this salmon, all that gorgeous coral colour. Of course it's good for you. I feel better looking at it. Nothing makes me feel healthier or happier than my spinach, pumpkin seed and avocado salad. I mean, to be honest, it's a meal in itself, but sometimes it's nice to lux it up with a little smoked salmon. And the virtue of smoked salmon, and this is really lovely organic stuff, is that you can eat fish without having to go out and buy it fresh that day. My method of serving is to snip and strew lovely, tender ribbons of smoked salmon. My friend's coming for supper any minute now, and I know she loves this salad. Another snip. Yum. That's fine, we don't need to eat too much. You wait till you see the salad. On top of the smoked salmon, a little ground black pepper, as is only right. And instead of the more usual lemon, I want some lime juice. Just a little bit. Much less than if it were lemon, because of course lime is sharper. I just want a sharp acid burst. Because lime is what I need in the dressing for the spinach salad. I'm going to grate some of the zest off first. You really only need half a lime, but we've got 3/4 here and I'm not going to throw it away, am I? What's that thing that Mae West said? Too much of a good thing can be wonderful. And now the lovely green, sharp juices. The sharpness of lime is so perfect against that smooth clay blandness of avocado. Good bit of salt. I know the smoked salmon is salty, but the avocado most definitely needs a bit of extra. And that salt will dissolve a little in the lime juice. And now some olive oil. Beautiful. Only about a tablespoon. And think of this as moisturiser you eat rather than have to slather over yourself. And now the spinach. Really lovely baby leaves. About 150 grams, 4 cups. However much you can manage, I can manage a lot. Look at that. And now, aha, I want a small avocado, and I can manage one by myself easily. I once read that dogs that live in avocado orchards have really glossy coats because of all the avocados that lie on the ground, they snaffle up. So every time I eat avocado, I think of the glossy coat I'm gonna have. I find it best to gouge out lumps of avocado with a teaspoon. Drop them in. I love the rasping sound as the spoon drags the smooth clay from out of the skin. I'm not going to do the entire other half now because I think it's rather nice to add some buttery curls to the salad once it's on the plate. Some pumpkin seeds, just rattle them out. About a 1/4 cup. And now just add the dressing. Those flecks of lime as it pours over. And mix everything together, gently. Well, everything is harmoniously mingled and just needs to be arranged so delicately on the plate. All I want to do now is add a final few teaspooned out hillocks of avocado. And the really great thing is I feel I'm eating something which is full of health, but it's such a huge portion. Now that we know that red wine is good for us, I think it would be positively bad not to indulge a bit. Ah, look at this, beaded bubbles winking at the rim. Anyway, my other excuse is that I need a splash of it, tablespoon, for my syllabub yogurt. Syllabub is generally kind of sweetened, sugared cream whipped up with citrus and wine or sherry, and this is the virtuous version. Yes to the citrus and the wine, and on top we have honey and yogurt. And we need a tablespoon of honey. Just whip or whisk, stir languidly the wine, honey and zest of an orange together, all the better, to mix and combine before pouring in 3/4 of a cup or thereabouts, about 150 millilitres of low-fat bio yogurt. There's something immensely soothing, like a balm about this. It tastes wonderful on top of everything else. You know me, if it isn't delicious, I'm not going to eat it. And my final touch here is just a pinch of ground cinnamon. It needs to be mixed in. And what I love here is the combination of coolness of texture and taste, but warmth of flavourings, the warmness of wine and honey, cinnamon and orange. And I like to eat this by lacing it around some ripe, bulging bellied soft figs, quartered. And if figs aren't in season, just use any soft fruit you want. I mean, really, 1 fig a person is all that's needed. But let's throw caution to the winds. 1.5 each today. And then almost lace the syllabubed yogurt through the figs. Beautiful pink spiced cream is just exquisite here. And just to add a different taste, a different colour, a different texture, I want a sprinkling, about a teaspoon on each, of nibbed or splintered pistachios. Lazily I get these from a specialist store, but obviously you can easily chop up your own nuts. Luscious, fragrant and good for you. I'm not complaining.
In your pudding bowl.
You know those days when you get back in and you are famished, you open the fridge and everything you eat is bad for you? Well, this, my red salad, is the antidote to such a catastrophe. I mean, it is really delicious. It lasts a good few days in the fridge and happens to be healthy. You start off with half a red onion, finely chopped, and this will be the basis of the vinaigrette. So the red onion can go in a little bowl to macerate with some red wine vinegar. The vinegar, a couple of teaspoons, might just push it about a bit and leave it to steep. And I will not normally eat raw onion, but this makes it almost like candy. Well, I continue along the red road, a can of gorgeous red kidney beans, and then a couple of handfuls, about 8 little cherry tomatoes. Just halve these and add them to the kidney beans. And now, in with the magenta red onion and the red wine vinegar, little bit of olive oil, I suppose about a tablespoon, however much you want. We know it's good for us now. And then just tenderly mix this together. Lovely. And then apply to face or stash in the fridge. No secret of the fact that I adore food shopping, but I particularly relish it when what I buy makes me feel good too. I love the juicy crunch of peppers. I know that red are the absolute best for you, but I gotta have orange. I mean, look at this, and yellow too. I love the way they look like a fire in the fridge. I love Brazil nuts, and since they're so good for you, I do feel it's my duty to eat them. And what's more, I feel I deserve some sort of commendation for doing so. I've always been a complete tea addict, and now I know it's good for you, I feel quite smug about it. As for the herbal teas, I can't quite work out whether I really like them or whether I've just trained myself to like them. But whatever, it works. My antioxidant salad is just about the only thing I can think of that is both good for you and addictive. Mango, pomegranate, blueberries, all things that make your cells very, very grateful. Now, normally, I think the easiest way to deal with the mango is to eat it whole in the bath, but my other way of treating it is by scoring round the skin all the way round lengthwise and then ripping off the skin and then cut down right down to the bone. I do know it isn't a bone, lengthways, and then the other way, like a sort of cross hatching pattern. And now cut right down flat against the bone to release a pile of golden cubes. Now let's take this bit of skin off. It does get messy, but I like a bit of mess. Lengthways now. And across, and one down to release the mango dice. Now this I really will eat in the bath later. But for now, I'm going to get on with the pomegranate. Normally, I get the pomegranate seeds out by thwacking on the fruit with a wooden spoon. I'm going for a slightly more brutal approach now by trying out a rolling pin. And it really works. And the squeeze of the red juice. Beautiful. Remaining half. And this is the thing, this is so beautiful with all these bright colours. I find it uplifting, so that I know it's healthy, but I feel that it's doing my soul good too. If only I had one. And now tumble in a darkly glimmering cup of blueberries, about 150 grams. And the juice, because I think a bit of sharpness is nice, of half a lime. Spritz like this, as long as you don't have any cuts. Mix this gently together. I don't want to bruise any of the beautiful fruit. Look at that. I could eat this for breakfast, lunch, tea, and late night snack. What I love is that not only does it taste good, but I know it does me good. And only chocolate with the same. But it is! I mean, obviously I'm only eating this for its antioxidant properties. Don't believe me?